Good evening, friends. Welcome to our weekly contemplative prayer session here at Holland UCC. It's good to have you join us wherever you're tuning in from. In these weekly sessions, we try to take some time to cultivate mindfulness, presence, awareness, and learn different prayer and meditation practices. I found that when I take the time to pause, pay attention to my breath, and be present, it allows me to be fully in the moment. It almost allows me to see myself from outside myself. I can be an observer of myself, and when I do that, I'm able to have a deeper level of equanimity, and the chaos of the present moment, any emotional stress or responses, I can sort of rise above those and respond out of a place of depth and patience and peace and compassion. And so that's why it's been so meaningful to me over the last number of years to really work to cultivate my own contemplative practice, because it makes me a better person and is an essential part of my own spiritual path. And so prayer for me has really more and more become about a practice of silence, sitting in the presence of God, of all that is, and simply slowing down, being present in a spirit of reciprocity. So welcome, wherever you're tuning in from. So glad that you're here. Some of you are tuning into this live on Facebook. Some of you are watching this later, perhaps on YouTube, or listening via our podcast. However you're finding this, I hope that this can be a session that helps you connect, that helps you go deeper, that helps you be more present. So I invite you to settle in. Notice your posture. Try to sit with a back as straight as possible. I'm sitting on the floor, on a carpet, on a cushion here in the back shed. When you're ready, I invite you to take a deep breath in. And when you take that deep breath in, it can be helpful just to hold it for a beat. Taking a deep breath in, hold, and exhale. Simply breathing in and breathing out. I have a reflection for us, a sitting meditation entitled Sitting Like the Buddha by Thich Nhat Hanh, from his book, Touching the Earth. Touching the Earth. And it's written in many ways as a spoken word or prayer to the Buddha. I don't know how that hits you wherever you are on your spiritual and theological journey, but I hope that's not a problem for you. And so in a moment, I'll read this sitting like the Buddha, and before that, I will ring the bell and invite an inner posture of quiet and presence. And perhaps as I read, you might want to close your eyes and just allow the words to seep in. Sitting Like the Buddha by Thich Nhat Hanh. Lord Buddha, I truly want to sit as you sat, with my posture still, solid, and powerful. As your disciple, I also want to have your composure. I have been taught to sit with my back upright and relaxed, my head a straight continuation of my spine without leaning forward or leaning backward, my two shoulders relaxed, and one hand placed lightly on top of the other. I feel both solid and relaxed in this position. I know that in my own time, most people are too busy and very few have the opportunity to sit still with inner freedom. I vow that I shall practice sitting meditation in such a way that I experience happiness and freedom while sitting. Whether I sit in the full lotus, the half lotus, or on a chair with my 2 feet placed flat on the earth. I shall sit as someone who has freedom. I shall sit in such a way that my body and my mind are calm and peaceful. With mindful breathing, I shall adjust my posture, helping my body to be calm and at ease. With mindful breathing, I shall recognize and help to calm down feelings and emotions. With mindful breathing, I shall light up the awareness that I have all the conditions necessary to unite body and mind and to give rise to joy and happiness. With mindful breathing, I shall look deeply into my perceptions and other mental formations when they manifest. I shall look deeply into their roots so that I can see where they have come from. O Buddha, I shall not look at sitting meditation as an effort to constrain body and mind, or as a means of forcing myself to be or do something, or as a kind of hard labor that will bring happiness only in the future. I vow to practice sitting in such a way that I nourish myself with peace and joy while sitting. Many of my ancestors have never been able to taste the great happiness of mindful sitting, and I vow to sit for those ancestors. I want to sit for my father, mother, brothers and sisters who do not have the fortune to be able to practice sitting meditation. When I am nourished by my practice of sitting meditation, all my ancestors and relatives are also nourished. Every breath, every moment of looking deeply, every smile during the session of sitting can become a gift for my ancestors, my descendants, and for myself. I want to remember to go to sleep early so that I can wake up when it is still dark and practice sitting meditation without feeling sleepy. When I am eating, drinking tea, listening to a Dharma talk, or participating in Dharma discussion, or anything else I might do, I shall also practice sitting solidly and at ease. On the hill, on the beach, at the foot of a tree, on a rock, in the guest room, on the bus, in a demonstration against war, or in a fast for human rights, I shall also sit like this. I vow that I shall not sit in places where people are fighting, arguing, blaming and judging others, except when I have made the deep vow to come to those places to encourage or even rescue people. O Buddha, I vow that I shall sit for you, sitting with a deep serenity and solidity. I shall represent my spiritual teacher who has given me birth in the spiritual life. I am aware that if everyone in the world has the capacity to sit still, then peace and happiness will surely come to this earth. A lovely sitting meditation reflection from Thich Nhat Hanh. I hope just hearing that and absorbing the spirit of that was nourishing for you. Listening to something like this during our own meditation time can encourage us to cultivate a deeper sense of mindfulness throughout the day. And the more we cultivate silence and peace and presence, the more we can be what Tara Brach calls a mindful witness where we can again, see ourselves. We can witness to what is happening in our lives. And we can do it from a place of peace, non-judgment, and awareness. And that's so important to do because life is busy, it's chaotic. We are physical, emotional, thought-driven creatures. We were talking about emotion in some of our pub theology groups and in my pub theology podcast this week, and how emotions can be so powerful, can take us over. And they're rooted in our physical beings, they're rooted in our subconscious, in our experience. And if we've not practiced mindfulness, emotions can hold sway over how we respond in any given moment to what comes our way. And Tara Brach talks about the waves of life and the chaos and the waves of emotion and thought. And being a mindful witness allows us to become the ocean witnessing the waves, aware of itself rather than someone helplessly struggling against the waves or being pushed to and fro by the waves. And so I invite you, as part of your own practice, to find a few minutes regularly, each day if possible. And again, this doesn't have to be long. It can be 2 to 5 minutes. Obviously, 10, 15, 20 or 30, even better, but we're busy people. So taking even just a few minutes to just pause, get in touch with our breathing, and wake up to the present moment can really deepen our sense of awareness and can bring out more of who we want to be. So good to be with you, friends. If you found this session helpful, again, I invite you to like or share, send to a friend, and you can find more of these on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, our podcast at Holland UCC. And feel free to give feedback as well on what you'd like to see in the future. Blessings to you, and may you live from a place of peace each day. Good night, and we'll see you next time.